It's funny how much an entrance can say about a person, right? Well, today we're going to decode the symbolism behind one of the most famous arrivals in all of history, Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. And it all comes down to this simple but really powerful idea from our source material. An entrance isn't just someone showing up. It's a statement. It's a message, a deliberate one about who you are, what you stand for, and what you plan to do. So, to really get what was happening in Jerusalem, we first have to wrap our heads around this one basic truth. A leader's entrance, whether it's big and flashy or quiet and humble, it always tells a story. And our source gives us this great, kind of fun example, Prince Ali's entrance in Aladdin. I mean, it's the whole shebang, elephants, music, all this fanfare. It's a complete performance, right? It's designed to make everyone think he's someone he's not. Or, take this military analogy from the source. You can tell so much about a commander just by how they walk into a room. Do they come in front and center, expecting everyone to jump to attention? That asserts authority. Or do they kind of come in from the side, motioning for you to relax? That shows humility. See? The little details say everything. Okay, so with that in mind, let's set the stage for Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem. Because let me tell you, the crowd had a very specific kind of king they were waiting for. You have to picture it. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. It was the Passover feast, a holiday all about celebrating freedom from slavery, but they were living under Roman occupation. The whole city was just simmering with political tension, and the people were desperate for a powerful, conquering hero to come and save the day. The palm branches they were waving? I mean, that says it all. These weren't just party decorations. They were a powerful political statement, a symbol of a past military victory. Waving them was basically saying, we're ready for another rebellion, let's go. So at the end of the day, they were rolling out the red carpet for a lion, a warrior king who would take on Rome, restore their national pride, and set up a powerful kingdom right here on earth. But the king who actually showed up, well, he was not the one they had ordered. And this, right here, is the central contradiction of the day. They wanted a lion on a war horse, a symbol of military power, ready for a fight. But what they got was a lamb on a young donkey, a symbol of peace and humility. He wasn't there to overthrow Rome. He was there to fulfill a much older story. And believe me, this choice of animal was no accident. Riding in on a donkey was a direct public claim. He was deliberately acting out this specific prophecy from the Hebrew scriptures, basically telling everyone, I'm the one. I'm the king Zechariah was talking about. But okay, he chose the animal, but the day he chose, that was even more important. So why? Why did the timing of his entry matter so much? Because this, folks, is where the story takes an absolutely incredible turn. So Jesus entered Jerusalem on the 10th day of the Jewish month of Nisan. Now, to you and me, that might just sound like a date, right? But to every single person in that crowd, that date meant something incredibly specific. Because according to the book of Exodus, the 10th of Nisan was Lamb Selection Day. It was the exact day that every family in Israel was supposed to go and choose the perfect, spotless lamb that would be sacrificed for the Passover meal. So do you see what's happening here? While the crowd is busy welcoming a political king, on the exact day prescribed by their own law, God was presenting the true Passover lamb. This wasn't just a parade, it was a divine presentation. I mean, this just changes everything, doesn't it? It completely reframes his identity. So what does it really mean for this king to also be the lamb? Well, the source material breaks down this whole lamb king idea into 3 core truths about who he is for his people. He's their champion, their deliverer, and their sacrificial lamb. First up, he's a champion king. And think of it like David fighting Goliath. This king doesn't just send an army to fight his battles. He steps onto the battlefield himself to fight for his people. His entry wasn't a declaration of war on Rome, but on the spiritual forces of sin and death. Second, he's a deliverer king. But here's the twist. The crowd wanted to be delivered from Roman soldiers, right? But he came at Passover to offer something way deeper. He came to become the ultimate Passover lamb, to deliver people from their slavery to sin. And finally, he is a sacrificial lamb king. And this is the ultimate contradiction, the part that's so hard to grasp. His greatest power isn't shown through force, but through weakness. His ultimate victory wouldn't come from conquering other people, but by sacrificing himself. It's so ironic because his opponents saw all the crowds and said this out of total frustration. They were worried about losing control of their little corner of the world. But in their panic, they ended up speaking this unwitting prophecy about a king whose influence would spread way beyond Jerusalem. And that just leaves us with this final big thought. The local leaders were so afraid he would win over a single nation. But by showing up as a humble lamb instead of a conquering lion, was he actually revealing a completely different kind of kingdom, one that was never meant for just one nation, but for the entire world?